our way home. He is our guide in this world that's so wild. Let's trust in Jesus. Let's trust in Jesus. Let's trust in Jesus. Let's trust in Jesus. Wherever He leads us, wherever He leads us. Let's trust in Jesus. Let's trust in Jesus. You feel alone and you're powerless when you need some hope. Just remember this: He holds the seas, He names the stars, and He's always with you wherever you are. So let's trust in Jesus. Let's trust in Jesus. Let's trust in Jesus. Let's trust in Jesus. Wherever He leads us, wherever He leads us. Let's trust in Jesus. Let's trust in Jesus.
Very short spiel first. Okay, good morning, everybody. How are you? Semi-awake. Got it. That's how I feel, too. Well, welcome back. It's the last day here at True North, last regular day, because there is the closing program Sunday evening at 5. But this is the last day that we get to spend all morning together singing, playing, and learning about Jesus and our lessons and our sticky scriptures and all of that. All right, hang on, I lost my place. I'm getting old. Sometimes our world does feel wild, but hey, guess what? We have a friend who is constantly with us, who is constantly helping us, who is constantly loving us. Who is that? Jesus! And so guess what? We're going to sing about it.
Say hey, 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 hey. If that love's enough, say hey, 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 hey. Even in the darkest night, say hey, 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 hey. 'Cause you're gonna be alright, say hey, 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 hey. He'll leave the 99, she's to go find the lost. His love always finds me, reminds me of the cross. If He gives His Son for me, hey, hey, hey. Why should I worry? Hey, hey, hey. It's time to pray. Those hands raised. Hey, hey, hey. If you know God's love, say hey. Hey, hey, hey. If that love's enough, say hey. Hey, hey, hey. Even in the darkest night, say hey. Hey, hey, hey. 'Cause you're gonna be alright, say hey. Hey, hey, hey. He'll leave the 99, she's to go find the lost. His love always finds me, reminds me of the cross. If He gives His Son for me, hey, hey, hey. Why should I worry? Hey, hey, hey. It's time to pray. Those hands raised. Hey, hey, hey. He'll leave the 99, she's to go find the lost. His love always finds me, reminds me of the cross. If He gives His Son for me, hey, hey, hey. Why should I worry? Hey, hey, hey. It's time to pray. Those hands raised. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. It's time to pray. Those hands raised. Hey, hey, hey.
All right. Great singing, everybody. So, the wilderness of Alaska is really beautiful. This set doesn't even do it justice. It is so pretty. But remember, we said Alaska is very uninhabited, right? Which means there are not a lot of people there. Most of it is wilderness. So, if we were to go visit Alaska in the summer, like some of you wanted to do, what are you going to have to take? Lots of stuff. You're going to have to pack a backpack full of things, because once you get out in the middle of the wilderness, guess what? Nobody can come get you in a car. You're not going to find food at a grocery store. Well, even that, depending on where you are. So let's think about it for a second. What are some things, if you were going to explore the wilderness in Alaska, would be things that you would want to take? One of my things, I would want a fire starter. Not going to lie, I'm a wimp when it comes to cold, so I want me a nice warm fire. And maybe a sleeping bag.
I've heard you need three ways to start a fire, not just one, in case one doesn't work.
Okay, so I want 3 ways to start a fire and a sleeping bag. Who else can think of some other things? Jeremiah? A gun? Yep. I don't want to meet a Kodiak bear without a way to protect myself. Grayson? A pan. Actually, you're 100% right. You have to have some way to cook food. Colton? A sword. Actually, you could have some kind of knife, but Elizabeth? Yeah, we need lots of stuff. Taylor? An arrow. Ezrin? Toys? Oh, I don't know if there'd be room in my backpack for toys. Caleb? A pocket knife. Emily? Water bottles. Yep. Gabe? Bullets for the gun. Say what? 3 jackets. Yeah, because you want to be able to layer. Gideon? The Bible. I like that one. Riker?
If you use your knife, you would cut yourself.
You could. That's why we have to be very careful when we're camping.
BB gun.
A BB gun? I think you're going to need something bigger than that. Edgar?
And a shotgun.
An axe? Okay, those are all things that we could take. But did anybody else think of where you're going to sleep? What about a tent? A tent! Absolutely, we need a tent. You know, if we packed every single thing you guys mentioned, our backpack would be so full. I don't know if I could carry a backpack full of all of that stuff. Just saying, it would be huge. But this week, thinking about big, full backpacks, we have been learning that we can trust someone very special. Who is that? Jesus, you're right. We've talked about how when we have questions, when we feel alone, when we feel powerless, when we need hope, we can always count on Jesus, okay? A lot of times life might feel like a giant backpack full of stuff that is hard for us to handle. But guess what? We have somebody who wants to handle that stuff with us, sometimes for us if we would let go and let him do it. He wants to help us. So our Bible point today that we're going to be discussing is when we need help, we can trust Jesus. Exactly. Like a heavy backpack, life can be full of burdens. But like I said, we were never meant to carry them alone. And I don't think that's right. Did we put in the Bible? They didn't give me my verse today in opening, so we had to stick it in somewhere, and I don't remember where we did it. Yes, right there. So I don't have it marked today in my Bible, so let's read it all together. Matthew 28:20. I am with you always, even to the end of the age. Matthew 28:20. We've got to finish our Bible verse sandwich. So he is there to help us. He is always with us. He's never going to leave us. When we put our trust in him, we can count on him through every single situation. With that being said, we are going to sing about how Jesus helps us.
Which song is that supposed to be?
Which one do you have? Did it help me? That's one I got.
Okay.
She's on it.
Babe, go ahead and stand up while she's getting it. great singing. And he does. He helps us every single day. Okay, so let's think about something for a second. We have been talking about all the things that we could see or do in Alaska, but is that our only sense? So we have sight, we have smell, we have taste, feeling, but hearing. So let's think about some things that you might hear when you're in Alaska. Emily. I'm not going to lie, that's not a sound I really want to hear, but yes, you might hear. Absolutely, you might hear that. Okay, let's do some other guesses. Caleb? Bald eagles. Yep, Ernest. We would hear Ernest. Taylor? A wolf? Colton? We could hear a splash. Bryson? Yep. So we are actually going to see how well you do at identifying some sounds that are from Alaska. Okay? So Miss Amy's got some clips that she's going to play, and then we're going to have you guess what it is.
But we have no signal.
Absolutely. There is that bear sound. If I heard that, I'd be gone. All right, very good. That was a bear. You ready for the next one? Oh, what's this one? Moose. Yes, very good. Miss Amy, could you pause that for me? Okay, so some of you thought that was a crab. Okay, think about where Alaska is. Remember on our globe, right? How far is it up? It's really close to north, right? At the very, very tippy top, true north, almost. So with that being said, even though it looks like this in the summer, there are still things that don't melt. Guess what? You will still see icebergs and glaciers in Alaska. That sound was an iceberg breaking. Yeah. All right, let's listen to the next one. It is a whale. Whales are singing. Yes. It is an otter. Yes. Very good hearing and very good guessing. You got almost all of them right. So, like I said earlier though, we've been looking for things with our eyes as God sightings. Can anybody think of some things that you hear that could be considered a God sighting? I have one, and the reason I thought of it is because I have a cousin who's pregnant right now. A baby's heartbeat. You can't see it, but you can hear it, and it is definitely a God sighting. So I want you guys to take a moment to discuss with your group leaders, what are some things that you can hear that could be considered God sightings? So just for a little bit. Okay, guys, I love that you're having such great discussion, but we do need to move on. If you do not have your God sighting trees, please make sure the next time you have the opportunity to write down the things that we discussed that you can hear that are God sightings so we can put them on our celebration spot on the back wall. It is so awesome to know how powerful, how loving, and how creative God is, and how simple things like laughter or the sounds of a whale or the sounds of an iceberg can remind us of that. Those are 100% God sightings. And this week, God's creation has not just been God sightings for us. They've been buddies, right? They've been helping us remember our important Bible points. So let's review them really quick, okay? Day 1, who was our Bible buddy? Ponder. And what Bible point did she help us remember? When we wonder, we can trust Jesus. Then day 2 was who? Claudia. And Claudia helps us remember that when we feel alone, we can trust Jesus. Day 3 was Cody, the Kodiak bear. And what did Cody help us remember? When we feel powerless, we can trust Jesus. What about Ernest the eagle? When we need hope, we can trust Jesus. So today we are going to meet our final Bible point buddy, all right?
Hello, I'm Bruce the Moose. You've probably never seen a moose in the wild. We try to hide out. But since we're talking now, let me tell you all about the amazing ways God made moose. First, we're big. If an average adult man stood next to me, he'd come up to about my shoulders or so. Now, that might not seem like that big of a deal, but it's one way God helps us. You see, moose like me like to live in snowy places. Sometimes that snow gets pretty deep, but our long legs help us walk right through the snow. And my legs also help me wade into the ponds when it's hot in the summer. That keeps me cool and helps me find food in the water. Aside from plants that grow underwater, moose mostly eat the leaves or fruits of tall plants, so we need to be tall in order to reach them. Our long legs are just one way God helps us. He also gave us amazing fur coats to keep us warm in the cold Alaskan winters. Every single one of my hairs is hollow, which makes it like wearing a big puffy coat. And I don't just have hair on my body, even my nose and antlers have fur. I just know God gave me all that fur to help me stay warm. Take a deep breath. Feel the air going through your nostrils? Well, God made a bunch of passageways in my nose so that by the time the air gets into my lungs, it's warmed up. And those passageways also help capture water vapor when we breathe, which is a good thing when all the water is frozen. Yep, God gave moose like me everything we need to stay nice and warm. Most animals will eventually get so cold that their bodies start to use energy to stay warm, like when you shiver. But scientists haven't even found a temperature cold enough to make that happen to a moose. And if I want to know the weather forecast, I just check the winter net. You might think that with our big heavy bodies and long lanky legs, swimming might be hard. But it's not. Remember those hollow hairs I mentioned? They help us float. And while you might not want a long nose like mine, it helps me keep my eyes above water so I can keep a lookout. I just love the way God made me to swim and run fast. Moose hooves are another way God helps us out. He gave us strong, sharp hooves that help us kick a predator who tries to hurt us. We can even kick in any direction. Hee-yah! And the shape of my hooves is specially made for snowy winters. Walking on these hooves is like when humans wear snowshoes. But I haven't even gotten to my favorite feature, my antlers. These big things are made of bone and covered in a soft skin called velvet. It's like fur, and they grow fast. That's a good thing because every year moose lose our antlers and grow newer, bigger, better ones. So how do those antlers help us? Well, we use them for two things: fighting moose who try to steal our homes and showing off to the ladies. Speaking of which, the ladies find me pretty amusing. When you think about it, every part of a moose was carefully created so we have just what we need to live in Alaska. Jesus can give you help too, like if you're not sure what decision to make, or if you need a little extra courage to do what God has asked you to do. God gave me antlers, hooves, and hollow hair, but He gave you what you need too. He gave you a brilliant brain that can come up with ideas and brand new thoughts. He gave you the ability to talk and share about Jesus with other people. And He gave you a heart that can follow Him and show His love to other people. So, no matter how helpless you might feel sometimes, remember that Jesus is right there to give you all the help you need. Time for me to snow or go. Don't forget, when we need help, we can trust Jesus.
All right. So God definitely gave each and every one of our Bible buddies just what they need to survive in Alaska and in that wilderness. And He can help us too. So that is why Bruce the Moose is going to help us remember that when we need help, we can trust Jesus. Okay. I don't know if I don't think I have time for a song. So Miss Olivia, tag, you are it.
Okay. So, I'm so happy to see you all again, and maybe Scout will meet me again soon, and oh my goodness.
Excuse me there.
Scout! Is that you?
I don't know.
Wow, wow.
Wow is right.
Where did you get all this extra stuff from?
Well, you know how I lost my gear in the river yesterday? And then you loaned me this one?
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, you see, I was walking along the river, and that's when I saw it. My gear had got tangled up in some brush.
So now you have twice as many things you need.
That's right. Extra gear means better hiking.
Oh.
Okay, can I help you with any of that?
No. I have 2 towels. I don't need him. I am perfectly prepared for anything.
Were you perfectly prepared for that?
Well, interesting enough. No, I wasn't.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Come on. Get this up. There we go. You know, we can have all the gear in the entire world, and we would still need some help.
I'm starting to realize that right now.
You know, there's nothing wrong about asking for
when you ask Jesus for help, does he?
Certainly does.
What?
Jesus.
It's just hot, it's all.
Oh dear. You know, when we ask Jesus for some help, he can help us calm our hearts. And he can also send people in our lives to help us lend a hand.
Oh, like what you did yesterday when you loaned me this backpack.
Absolutely.
So, if I were to say I needed help taking this off, this extra gear off, because I don't think I can get up if I don't.
Well, I think Jesus sent somebody in your life to help you with exactly that. How in the world did you get yourself tangled up in all this mess?
I don't know.
There we go. Ready? So you're gonna slip your arms through there. Slip your arms through there. Yay! There you go.
Yeah, I should probably give you that stuff back then.
You know what? It was actually extra gear for me. So now, it can be extra gear for you. Maybe one day Jesus will tell you to give it to somebody that they might need it. And help somebody like I helped you.
So, do you think Jesus will listen to me? Because, you know, like a couple minutes ago, I said I didn't need help.
He is always there for us. Jesus is a friend we can trust.
Oh man, yeah! That feels so much better. And I know the first thing I'm going to do now that I can, you know, move around a lot easier. I'm going to tell people about Jesus.
Scout! Bag?
Would you mind helping me pack that extra bag?
Sure thing, Fred. Say goodbye, everyone! Bye!
Okay. Have you guys enjoyed it? Oh, enjoyed it. Wow. Don't tell my English teacher. Enjoyed having Olivia and Scout with us this week? Yeah. Hopefully they will make an appearance Sunday night too. So don't forget about that. Also, another quick reminder, remember Sunday we're going to sing the Power Shuffle for everybody at church. So service starts at 10:45. Anybody who wants to sing with us, please come on. We would happily have you here. I don't know if there's any announcements that I need to make before. I don't think so. Okay, but again, quick reminder, if you guys think of other God sightings throughout the day, write them down, stick them up there. We want to celebrate them and call them out. And I'm going to request that we leave them up for church and the closing program as well, too. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close in a word of prayer. So please show God the respect that he deserves. Fold our hands, close our eyes, and let's talk to God. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for this week that we've been able to gather together and worship you and learn about you. And Father, I just pray that as we go throughout the rest of the day, number one, you would be with Miss Susan as she gives the lesson. Give her the words to speak. Number two, please be with all of us leaders. And as opportunities arise, give us the words so that we can point the kids to you, the true north. And I just pray that you would prepare their ears and their hearts again to hear your word. And the leaders' hearts and ears too, because we need these reminders just as much as the kids do. I just praise you and I thank you for today. I thank you for all the ways that we've been able to celebrate you and cite you throughout the week, and I pray that you would just help us to continue doing so. Please keep us safe, and pray that every interaction that we have would be glorifying to you. In Jesus' name, amen.